Want to know why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently? It's not about big ideas. It's about turning processes into momentum. I'm Sergiy, the founder of Algocentric Digital and a fractional CMO. Fractional work is built on flexibility, expertise, and hands-on execution. If your executive team is stuck in planning mode or drowning in half-baked initiatives, it's time to rethink your hiring strategy. This isn't about filling a role. It's about finding seasoned leadership that's aligned to your business goals. The leadership crisis nobody talks about. Do you know the average CMO lasts less than 40 months in the role? And it's getting shorter? That's not just a stat, it's a warning sign. Marketing leaders are burning out fast. The demands are rising, the expectations are unclear, and the gap between strategy and execution is costing companies millions. This is exactly why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They're stepping into the chaos, not with theories, but with real operational expertise. Real-world win. Reducing SaaS churn. Let me show you how this looks in action. A mid-market SaaS company brought in a fractional CMO. Instead of doing a rebrand or hiring an agency, she audited the customer journey, found friction points, and rebuilt lifecycle marketing strategies tied to product usage. Within 3 quarters, net revenue retention improved by 14%. This is what happens when strategy meets execution. A fractional leader brings outside expertise, applies it quickly, and adapts it without the red tape of a full-time executive. They see the gaps, build a team, and connect marketing, product, and sales into one growth engine. This is why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They act, they adapt, and they build momentum. Before you watch the rest of the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notifications bell so you never miss a growth tip. If you want the exact framework for hiring the right marketing leader, click the link in the description to grab your free fractional CMO hiring Bible. In this Bible, we discuss how to structure your hiring process to avoid common mistakes and spot red flags, the cost breakdown of fractional CMOs versus full-time CMOs, the key SaaS metrics like CAC, ARR, LTV a fractional CMO should own, and much more. You can comment CMO below and I'll send you the link directly. Also, don't forget to tag a SaaS founder who needs to see this. Don't hire a title, hire for outcomes. One of the most common hiring mistakes companies make is they search for a CMO, COO, or CFO without defining what business goals that person will own. A better way: hire for outcomes. A fractional role gives you focused help without a long-term commitment and a lot more flexibility to pivot as your needs evolve. Fractional executives don't just take on titles, they take on missions. If your issue is churn, you don't need a CMO. You need someone who's fixed retention across multiple companies. That's why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They lead with clarity and own the result. Whether it's a fractional CRO optimizing your funnel or fractional COO fixing your systems, outcome-first leadership is the way forward. Implementing fractional leadership. So how do you actually make fractional leadership work? First, define the gap. Are you missing strategic guidance and growth, product, or demand gen? Then scope it. Set a clear 90-day goal, assign ownership, give full access, and the key to effective fractional work isn't just hiring, it's empowering. The best fractional executives don't sit in the background, they lead, but they need access to your tools, team, and data. No gatekeeping. When integrated properly, your fractional executive team becomes the difference between another stalled strategy and actual business traction. That's why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They build systems, not slides. The power of operating rhythms. Even the best marketing strategies fall apart without a clear operating rhythm. Weekly check-ins, monthly metrics, quarterly OKRs, these aren't red tape. They're rituals that keep initiatives, teams, and leaders aligned. Fractional executives rely on these rhythms because they don't have time to guess. Rhythms create visibility, accountability, and most of all, momentum. This is why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They don't just lead teams, they install systems. Systems that scale, systems that survive turnover, systems that lead a small business punch way above its weight. That's the real value of seasoned leadership. Rebuilding broken rhythms. You know, rhythm is broken when meetings feel like a waste of time. No ownership, no outcomes, just back-to-back status updates. That's where fractional executives come in. They assess broken operating cadences and rebuild them from the ground up. A strong rhythm helps align your executive team and empowers employees to focus on what matters. This is exactly why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. Whether it's a fractional COO, CEO, they understand how to transform rituals into results. These leaders don't just fix meetings, they design processes that prioritize progress. With experience across multiple companies, they know what a healthy rhythm looks like and how to rebuild it fast. It's seasoned leadership that clears the fog and rebuilds the system that drives outcomes. Issue culture equals survival. Great organizations encourage people to raise red flags early. Poor ones ignore them until it's too late. That's why fractional leaders build a culture where feedback flows and blockers are addressed before they turn into disasters. This shift in company culture is often what separates high-growth teams from ones that stall. A fractional executive builds systems of trust, clarity, and reflection. They normalize postmortems, listen to frontline voices, and embed problem solving into the rhythm. This is why strategy fails, and what fractional executives do differently. They don't let small issues fester into major failures. Whether it's a fractional CMO or CRO, they bring the leadership and expertise to turn open dialogue into operational momentum. Managing urgent without losing your mind. Urgency is a trap. When everything feels like a fire drill, nothing strategic gets done. Fractional executives bring urgency filters. They ask the right questions. Does this impact revenue, customer trust, strategic objectives? If not, it can wait. That's not avoidance. That's experienced executive triage. This is also why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They don't allow your marketing strategies or product launches to be derailed by noise. A fractional COO might restructure your intake process. A fractional CEO might reset what qualifies as urgent. Either way, this level of operational guidance is what enables actual business progress. Filters for urgency. Here's a simple system used by top fractional leaders. The 3-bucket filter. If the issue is critical and aligned with business goals, it goes in the do bucket. If it's ambiguous but possibly important, it goes into explore. If it's just noise, it goes into don't do. This model keeps your team aligned and focused. This triage system isn't just good for time, it's essential for scaling. It's part of why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They implement systems that help both the executive team and the employees make better daily decisions. From fractional CMOs to fractional CFOs, they all know that managing attention is as important as managing money. Let's create a look at a real company using fractional leadership effectively. A high-growth SaaS firm implemented these 3 simple rhythms: daily performance stand-ups, monthly strategic reviews, and quarterly OKR resets. With the help of a fractional CMO and fractional CRO, these cadences created focus, feedback, and fast iterations. These aren't random meetings, they're part of a larger system built to enable execution. This is why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They know how to install rhythms that keep the entire organization aligned on key initiatives and empower the leadership team to pivot quickly based on real data. Celebrate wins, sustain momentum. Celebration might sound like a soft skill, but it's not. It's fuel. A fractional executive knows that recognizing wins, big or small, is what keeps employees motivated and reduces churn. A quick Slack shout-out or a public thank you in a meeting can go a long way in reinforcing the right behaviors. This is why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They don't just look at numbers, they look at people. They understand that a healthy company culture accelerates execution. Whether you're hired a fractional CMO, CTO, or COO, embedding recognition into your rhythm keeps energy high and initiatives on track. The flexibility advantage. One of the best parts of working with a fractional executive, flexibility. You get senior level leadership without long-term commitment. Whether you're a small business testing new marketing strategies or a scaling org optimizing operations, fractional work gives you speed without risk. This flexibility is exactly why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They adapt, embed quickly, and focus on outcomes, not optics. From a fractional CFO realigning budgets to a fractional COO rebuilding workflows, this model gives you the right fit at the right time every single time. Strategic benefits of fractional executives. Here's the big picture. Fractional executives bring clarity where there was chaos. They lead high-impact initiatives, solve tough problems, and provide real expertise without full-time baggage. They've worked across multiple companies, giving them unmatched perspective and proven playbooks. This is why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They don't chase shiny objects. They focus on what moves the needle. If you're building an executive team, don't just think about titles. Think about outcomes. Think about the blend of skills, leadership, and processes a fractional role can bring. How to start fast with fractional marketing. If you're considering bringing in a fractional CMO or any fractional executive, the first step is clarity. What's broken? Is it lead quality, lifecycle gaps, or paid ads? Pinpoint the gap, then structure a focused 90-day sprint. This is how fractional work delivers fast results, by aligning with key business goals from day one. Don't bog them down with red tape. Give access to tools, data, and decision makers. A fractional leader operates best when treated like a full team member, not a vendor. That's what makes this role different from traditional consultants. It's not about presentations, it's about solving problems that drive business growth. Final takeaway. Strategy lives in execution. You don't need more decks. You need action. That's the magic of a fractional executive. They bring structure, clarity, and execution. If you've been stuck planning the same marketing strategies quarter after quarter with no movement, it might be time to hire someone who thrives in motion. This is why strategy fails and what fractional executives do differently. They don't just give you advice. They work alongside your team to push initiatives forward. Whether it's a fractional CEO guiding vision or a fractional CRO fixing funnel leaks, these executives move things that matter. Strategy is nothing without the right execution. Bonus tip, avoid the outsider trap. Here's a common mistake. Companies hire a fractional executive and treat them like a freelancer. That's a fast track to wasted time. You need to make them part of the executive team from the jump. Let them join strategy sessions, access data, and lead projects. If they're leading a critical initiative, they need full visibility. Whether it's a fractional COO, CFO, or CTO, inclusion builds trust and speed. This isn't a contractor role, it's a strategic leadership position that bridges the gap between big vision and real success. Treating them like a partner, not an outsider, makes all the difference. Why Algocentric Digital? At Algocentric Digital, we've built our reputation on being more than just consultants. We're your embedded fractional CMO and marketing growth partner, ready to step in, aligned to your business goals, and accelerate your success. We specialize in B2B SaaS, and we've helped multiple companies scale without the burden of a full-time executive hire. From strategy to execution, demand gen to retention, we offer the skills, frameworks, and guidance that real companies need in real time. If you're tired of overplanning and underperforming, let's talk. Our seasoned leadership helps small businesses and scaling orgs make the right decision faster. If you worked with a marketing leader before, let me know what your experience was like. And if you like this video so far, please give us a like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to grab the free Fractional CMO Hiring Bible to learn the following. How to budget for a fractional CMO based on ARR. What growth levers a virtual CMO should own. The best hiring process to find the right fit quickly to avoid wasting hiring budget. Thank you for exploring how fractional executives drive real growth. At Algocentric Digital, we turn stalled strategies into momentum with focused, flexible leadership. Let's scale smarter together.